Hi everyone, 90 points to go until 2400 and I'm playing Kuros. Let's say hi again, leading me 14-10. I'm not happy about that. Let's go d4. Let's try to get some vengeance. He may be my new nemesis, although I'm not sure. He beat me the last two games, although I did have the black pieces. Let's see what he does here. I'm gonna play the Stockholm. He's probably prepared, so I want to see what he does. He's probably looked at my games in the Grunfeld. I like this variation. Now, this isn't what I'm gonna be playing in tournament chess. But I like it for training games. Yeah, I like queen b1 here. I could also go knight f3 first. This is the most critical line where black tries to hold on to the pawn. I don't remember it well. I'm gonna go queen b1. See what he does. The idea is to go e4, d5 at some point. And even consider going queen b5 check to pick the pawn up. You cannot go queen a4 check because of c6 and on bishop c4, b5. Queen b1 or knight f3 are the moves on move 8 here. Let's see what happens. I mean, black is a pawn ahead, but white has a very solid center. This plays against the normal Grunfeld plan to go c5 and break the center. And obviously, if the bishop goes to g7, then the e7 pawn is left unattended, and the queen is sort of tied down. If b6 is played, there are weaknesses along the h1, a8 diagonal. On bishop f5, you can go e4 and so on. I mean, this is the main line. Although I think knight f3 is the #1 move. I think knight f3 is the #1 move. I'm not sure. It didn't work on the Stockholm variation a lot because I've prepared something else for tournament games. By the way, it's December 6th when I'm playing this, which means that my tournament game is in 27 days. So 27 days before round 1 of the Bošnjaci Open. It's a tournament played in the east of Croatia. There will be 250 people, I think, maybe 220. The tournament's completely full. Usually in Croatia there are 2 tournaments at the beginning of January. One of them is the Rabat's Open, which I'd played for the last 3 or 4 years, I think. And the other one is Bošnjaci, which I've never played. Why is Kuros thinking for so long? Queen b1 is a normal move. It's not a strange move. Bishop e6, this line where you keep the pawn, you have to know queen b1, because it's either played now or after knight f3. It's one of the main ideas. He said in the chat, black at last. Who wants to be black in a Grunfeld? I could never understand that. The Grunfeld and the French are the 2 openings which I feel are masochistic. Okay, seems sensible to do this. I'm gonna go knight f3. And on bishop f5, I could also go e4 here. Can I go e4? Man, I don't remember if queen d5 is the move. So what's wrong with e4? e4, queen a5, knight e2. Maybe I leave e4 for later. Maybe knight f3 first, but then he has bishop f5. Yeah, I should really know more theory here. Unfortunately, I don't. So let's look at e4. If e4, queen a5, then knight e2, and I'm threatening to take on b7. Although I really don't want my knight on e2. So e4. If he goes queen h5, that's no problem, knight f3. e4 is very tempting. I basically just want to prevent bishop f5. The only thing that worries me is queen a5. But I could consider going queen b2. But then he has bishop g7 and c5. Which seems scary. And my center's crumbling. Then again, if I don't go e4, he's gonna go bishop f5. e4, queen a5. Let's say queen c2. c5, knight f3, bishop g7. Yeah, queen a5 is scary. I'm still gonna go e4. I feel like queen a5 is less scary than bishop f5. I'm gonna try to hold on to my center with queen d2 and knight f3. So queen a5, queen c2, or queen b2, c5, d5, bishop g7, I have rook c1. Then the bishop moves away from e6 and I can safely take on c4. Although he could reverse the move order. Yeah, now queen b2, if he plays bishop g7 first, then I have to go knight f3. Then he plays c5, then I can go rook d1. So queen b2, bishop g7. knight f3. Bishop g4, rook d1. Okay, I'm gonna go queen b2. I'm more afraid of bishop g7 than I am of c5. I think bishop g7 is correct. I don't want to go e5. If I have to go e5, that's sort of admitting defeat. I may even consider castling queenside, where he has to deal with d5 and queen b7. Yeah, bishop g7 is correct. Okay, so rook d1, c5, knight e2, takes, knight takes. Maybe knight e2 first, so that on c5 I can go d5. Knight e2, I'm not hanging anything. But knight doesn't belong on e2, it belongs on f3. Okay, rook d1 first. Yeah, I'm not happy with my position. Probably e4 was a mistake. I need to learn this variation. Looks scary. Is scary. Oh, I should have gone queen b4 against queen d5. Because I'd be threatening mate. I know he has knight c6. No, he doesn't have knight c6. So queen d5, queen b4, if knight c6, queen b7. Okay. I'm happy that he didn't go c5. I gotta say. Okay, I'm gonna go knight e2. Finally defending all of my stuff. If you can hear the washer, I'm sorry. We're doing laundry. I think he should have gone c5. Sorry, not b5. Because now on c5 I can even take. Not that it's good, but I can take. I wonder where I messed up. How can e4 be wrong? It seems very strange that e4 is wrong. I'm really tempted to just take this pawn. Although d5 seems better. Yeah, I'll go d5. I know that he wants to go b4, I'm aware of that. But I plan to just ignore it and allow him to take and have triple pawns on the c-file. That's the idea, at least. Because I don't think triple pawns down the c-file will be as useful. So I go g3, he goes b4. He could also go h6. It's kind of worrying. But I could consider bishop g3 and e5. Bishop g3, b4, e5. Okay, let's go bishop g3. On g3 he has h6 trapping my bishop. On b4 I'm going e5. White has this passed pawn on the d-file usually in the Grunfeld. That's supposed to be the compensation for the excellent bishop. But as soon as you go d5, all hell breaks loose. Man, I wish my f1 bishop was somewhere useful. I'm gonna have to go bishop f4 and g3 and bishop g2. That requires way too much time. Okay. Now I'm gonna go bishop f4 to give myself the option to go g3 and to give myself the option to go bishop d2 if necessary. He still doesn't have an excellent square for the knight. Okay, this is probably good. So g3 takes on d5, takes on d5, rook e8, bishop g2, bishop takes c3, game over. Therefore, I cannot allow him to take. Which means that I have to allow his knight the square on c6. Which means that I have to go d6. I don't see any other option. I cannot open the e-file. This is the passed pawn I was talking about, which you usually get as white in the Grunfeld. At least now when I play bishop g2, my bishop is going to be really good. Although he will have a knight on c6, which is going to be extremely scary. If he plays bishop c6, I don't know what to do. I'm probably much worse. Maybe able to get away with queen c2. Yep. Okay, queen c2, b4. Okay, I think I have to go queen c2. So queen c2, does he have bishop c3? No. Does he have bishop e4? No. I'm going queen c2. Still, if I manage to play g3, I'm gonna be fine. Okay, g3 finally. I don't know about this game. The only good thing is that I have 3 minutes more on the clock. Other than that, it seems like he had outplayed me again. But I have a passed pawn on d6, and I'm gonna have a good bishop on the diagonal. So I don't think it's losing for white. I would like to be black, but I don't think it's losing for white. This is a very good move. I have to take this. Otherwise I lose. And now I'm gonna have to go f4. Otherwise I lose the pawn. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go f4. He doesn't have bishop d4 because I take with the knight. Okay, I don't have e5 because I have to play bishop g2 first. So let's do that. Okay, let's castle finally. Now what? He wants to double up and win my pawn. He's blocking my bishop. At least if he doubles up, I have bishop h3. He wrote in the chat, misplayed horribly. I don't know. This is way too complicated for my level of understanding. I wonder if I can go f5. Maybe bishop h3 first. But then he goes bishop d7. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna try putting pressure on his position with f5. Okay, bishop f8. I was planning to take on g6. Okay. And now I was planning rook f6, although now that I look at it, it may not work. I was thinking on king g7, rook f1, and on bishop g7 I can play rook f3 or rook f2, try to double. I want to go queen c1 and queen g5. He's going to go bishop e6. Okay. He cannot take on a2 because of knight f4. I need my knight on g5. But I guess I should save my pawn first. There may be no way to save the pawn. I'd misplayed this position completely. So on bishop f8 I go d7. Okay. This is probably very good. Let's go crazy. I mean, it cannot get any worse. I'm gonna be a piece down, but my position will be active. I should not have played e5. e5 was a mistake. I need to get rid of this bishop. I should have gone f5. My plan is to go rook g2 and put pressure on the light squares. Not all is lost. His king is very unsafe. I don't know if I should have taken here or not, but we will see. If I can take on a5 with the rook, this is what you get in the Grunfeld, you get some passed pawns. I like my position now. I got my piece back. I'm the exchange up. Yeah, right. This is winning. Let's just bring my king closer. It's not easy. He wants to play bishop b2. I think this is winning. Sorry for not talking. This is a bit too stressful. My king is holding the bishop and 2 pawns, so if we divided this endgame into elements, rook and 2 pawns versus king and pawn is a draw. But not if I create a passed pawn on the A file. I couldn't allow A2. This is the only move that keeps some winning chances on the board. Oh, why did I do that? Why did I give up the pawn? Jesus, what am I thinking? What was that? Okay, this was just... I just didn't defend my pawn. What the hell was that? Now I'm struggling for a draw. Why would I do that? Ugh. Why would I do that? Why wouldn't I just push the pawn forward? This is just a blunder in time trouble. I'm so angry. Why didn't I just defend my pawn? I could have just played rook a6. I don't believe I did this. Obviously I cannot win now. Why did I do this? So let's go back. So in this position, I just go rook a6. Why didn't I do this? Stupid. It's insane. Probably a draw anyway. But nevertheless. Okay, 3 blunders. I have 3 blunders and 100% accuracy. Why? How is that possible? He has 5 blunders. Okay, now it's going down. What was this game? I'm very angry. Okay, so bishop e6. Queen b1 is a move. And then queen d5. And e4 is not a move. e4 is a question mark move. But what do I do against bishop f5? I go queen b2. Yeah, that makes more sense. I just played e4 and was worse. Let's see how much worse. Queen b2. Losing. I'm not much worse. I'm losing. Yeah, he should have gone c5. Losing on move 11. Okay. How did I survive this? Wow. Why is queen d2 better than queen c1? Wait, what? Queen d2? Bishop g7, rook f7, king f7, queen d5. Aha, because I have queen d5. If king f8, that's gonna be mate. So he has to go bishop e6 and then I go rook f1. Bishop f6, queen e5. Okay. Queen c5, bishop g7, rook f2. Knight f4 was the best move. Nice. Okay. It says bishop e4 is the best move, and then it's minus 4.7. Okay, he allowed a lot of counterplay after queen e6. Wait, what? I take on b6, a1 queen check, king g2? Why doesn't he take my rook? Okay, queen e7 check. I just assumed that rook a2 was good. King g2, queen e4 check, king g3. Very messy game. Yeah, why didn't I go rook g2? Why didn't I go rook g2? He cannot defend his rook. Horrible. This endgame is a draw. Draw, 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 draw. And then I gave up a pawn for nothing. Okay, very messy game. Thank you for watching. I hope you got something from the game. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye bye.